Hey guys, so this is a sort of a different video compared to the ones that I usually post. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my story. You're probably confused. My story, my life, how I've gotten to the point where I am and where I'm at this moment in time. So if you're triggered by self-harm, depression, suicide, I would probably click off of this video. But anyways, let's get on with it. Hope you enjoy. That's a bit too bright for my liking. It's just... Okay. So, to start off, I'm gonna crack some jokes, because, like, that's how I talk about things, but let's get started off. Okay, so, if you didn't know me, if you don't know me, well, I take medication for my depression because, like, if I don't, then I'll just end up trying to kill myself, and that's not good. So, if you didn't know, which I'm not expecting any of you to know, I self-harm. I used to self-harm. I don't do that anymore. I have not self-harmed for a year, I think. Almost a year. But anyway, I used to self-harm. And I used to do drugs, and stuff like that, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm better. Okay, I'm slightly better. I take meds. Fluoxetine, 250 milligrams, should help. Okay, anyway, so the first time I self-harmed was back in 2009. I'm 15. I was 7. You're probably like, what? No, that's not right. That's fucking wrong. You were 7. You didn't know what you didn't know feelings were, right? I did. My great grandma had just died, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I was a freaking 7-year-old. And I accidentally cut myself on accident with a mechanical pencil. Like I turned around and I went, what? And you know, the typical, oh no, I scratched myself, oopsies. And I was like, wait a minute, that feels good. I like that. My endorphins started kicking in. And I kept doing it. They were small scratches. I mean, they weren't deep. They weren't stitch-worthy. They were just small scratches, and I kept doing it, and it got progressively worse over the years. Progressively worse. By the time I was about in like 5th grade, that's when I actually started, like, you know, well, I started going south. I would cut, and it became more prominent in my life at that time, because I would do it, but I would make it seem like an accident, so no one would be like, yo, your wrist is covered in cuts, what the fuck? No, I did it, like, I have cats, so I'd make it look like a cat scratch, and they were not deep. They probably didn't even cut through the first layer of skin. I mean, blood wasn't even drawn, it was just like a red mark. But it still was pain, and I liked it, and then 6th grade came, and that's when I, like, you know, realized, I'm depressed. There's something not right with my head. There's something not right with my head. I don't know how to deal with this. And that was the first time that I cut my wrist with an actual knife. Yeah, an actual knife. So, I I had friends then who self-harmed as well. And I remember telling one of them, do you know what it's like to walk every day in a body that you hate and looking in the mirror and just wanting to end it all? And I had never said those words before. I mean, I had felt depressed. I had felt it. But I had never said those words out, in text rather, to someone else. I've always kept it to myself. And one of the nights, I think it was, the year had passed, I had cut myself, you know, but it was like an accident. And the first time that I ever cut with a blade it was scissors, but I cut with a blade was when it was 3 a.m. I wasn't allowed to have my phone, but I was texting my friends and I was having a really hard time and I couldn't handle it, so I powered my phone off. I was shaking and I took the scissors and I just sliced my wrist, and with no hesitation. There was absolutely no hesitation. There was absolutely no hesitation. And I remember just throwing the scissors on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck did I just do? And I remember quite vividly, actually, I threw the scissors under the bed, and I was like, my parents are going to find out, and they're going to think that I'm fucking crazy. So I took the scissors under the bed, I put a pen on the floor, you'll understand it in a minute, and I put a notebook on the bed, and I exposed the edge of my bed, so the corner, the very sharp corner, was showing, and I made a loud bang. And then I went into the living room and said, Dad, I fell off the bed and I cut my arm, and I don't know what to do. And so he patched it up. He was like, wow, that's really sharp. And, I mean, it made sense to me at the time, but I mean, this here, how do you fall sideways? How do you fall sideways? You can't. So it didn't make sense. We put a butterfly on it. My mom said I should have gotten stitches, which I probably should have. I'll always have the scar. I'll never not have scars. But after that, after I got the taste of real pain and real blood, it got worse. It got way worse. I was doing it every day. This time on my actual wrist, on my thigh. I would show you my thigh, but I don't show you my upper thigh because I don't ever show my upper thigh because it's ugly as fuck. But it looks like I got mauled by a bear. It got deeper and deeper as I progressed cutting. It went from surface scratches to 3 layers of skin, 4 layers of skin, and I've gotten to the point where I've almost gotten to the vein, and we'll get to that later. But in 7th grade was the first time I tried to attempt suicide. So, suicide counter, let's go. Number 1. I was in 7th grade, okay, and I was depressed as fuck. I would probably be one of those kids who would be called an attention seeker because, honestly, the way I acted around other people made it look like I wanted attention, but I just really wanted someone to, like, make me feel like I wasn't crazy. So I tried to cut myself to death. Didn't work. Obviously, I'm still here. My parents didn't find out, which was good for me at the time. I cut deep and I expected to not wake up the next morning, and I did. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to be here. I should have left yesterday. And that was the first time I ever really realized, okay, so this isn't going to be easy. This is definitely not going to be easy. This is going to be difficult, and I'm going to try several times if I really want to die. So, yeah. So towards the end of 7th grade, in 7th grade summer, I guess that was, I mean, I cut throughout the whole year. None of the cuts left scars on my wrist, at least. It was in 8th grade when I actually started telling myself, okay, you need to die, and you need to die now. So, 8th grade, first day, came into school with cuts on my arm. Was wearing long sleeve. It was, what, 80 degrees outside, and it was September, like, 8th, and it was still summer. So, I was wearing a sweatshirt, you know, shorts. I never wore pants until, like, now, because my legs are ugly, and, I don't want to show them. But, I was in such a low place that I didn't think I could get any lower, and the only way to get back up to the top was to actually kill myself so I could go in the sky, you know, into heaven or whatever, wherever you believe. I mean, I don't even know if I believe. Kind of hard to believe, but, yeah. Okay, anyway, I tried to kill myself 3 times in 8th grade. 3 times in 8th grade. One from taking pills. Guess I didn't take enough. It's either that or they weren't necessarily, it wasn't the right dosage or whatever. Not gonna tell you what kind of pills I tried to overdose. Didn't work. Another fail. I continued to cut, and this time I cut like a little deeper and a little harder, but it was on my leg. I still wasn't to the point where I cut on my arm yet. And then, I'd say halfway through 8th grade, my parents found a notebook that had poems, and it was basically my diary, or journal. It was a notebook, that had things in it that were very personal, and basically explained that I wanted to die, and that I cut myself. So, love that for me, but, yeah, they found it. I got called into Gayness, and I got taken to the hospital for a psych evaluation, and I got taken home, and it was very awkward because my parents were like, you should have told us. And then, no. Parents don't understand that when you're depressed, or you're self-harming, you don't want to tell your parents because you're afraid that they'll be disappointed in you, which is not necessarily something that you want your parents to feel about you. So after that, I was just like, well, they know, so fuck it. I'm just gonna slit my wrists now, and I did, and they left some scars. I mean, the scars I have now, they're from 9th grade, which I was in last year. I'm in 10th grade now. I continued to do it, and this summer going in, I still had this, backtrack to 6th grade. Okay, so, I had this friend, her name, let's call her Bessie. Let's call her Bessie. So Bessie and I, we were best buddies until last year. We shared a lot in common. I cut, she cut, we both wanted to die. We were there for each other always, and we always got each other out of the situations that we were in. But it's come back to now, and she hates me, so we'll get to that. Going to 9th grade, so I still had Bessie as a friend, and yeah, okay. Bessie was my friend, and Bessie was a good friend, and she hugged me when I was, like, sad. She held my hand when I was, like, crying. She told me it was gonna be okay when I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And then things went downhill. Big surprise, right? Okay. So 9th grade, things got worse. Things got way worse. 3 times in 9th grade I tried to kill myself. So that's 7 times. I'm not trying to flaunt the amount of times I tried to kill myself. I'm just counting for myself because I never actually did. count how many times I tried to kill myself. So, okay. This is difficult to talk about. It's hard to explain. So I cut myself a lot worse in 9th grade than I did ever, because Bessie had a friend named Josephine. Let's call her Josephine. And I don't know why, but I was extremely fucking jealous of them. They would put it in my face, and I felt like I was being replaced, and I didn't like that. I did not like that one bit. And I'd spend most nights crying and cutting myself over it, because I thought that I was being replaced by someone who they spent more time with, and I still hate Josephine till this day. It got worse. I tried to overdose twice the same year. I tried to cut myself. I actually almost hit the vein, and that scar right there. It's big and fat, and I hate it. But it's part of me, and I have to accept that, and it'll never go away. So when my children, if I have children, because I'm gay, will be like, "Yo, Mom, what's that big fucking scar on your arm?" I'm like, I used to cut myself, honey, don't do that. And what came first was I tried to cut myself. I was on FaceTime with Betsy, or Bessie, what? Betsy. Let's call it Betsy. I was on FaceTime with her overnight, and thoughts started spinning, and she walked away, and I was like, okay, and then I left a note on the wall that said, "I'll be right back, just give me like a few minutes," and I was cutting myself, and I took the razor, and I literally pressed as hard as I fucking could in my arm and swiped, and I started bleeding everywhere. It was almost squirting blood, and I wanted to die. I didn't want to have to deal with freaking Josephine anymore. It hurt me. It hurt me a lot, and I didn't understand why until later, which we'll get to. So yeah, we're getting close to the end here. Don't worry, I know it's long. It's long and painful, I know, okay? So basically, okay, basically, I cut myself, and then a few weeks later I tried to OD. On what? I'm not going to tell you. And I took pills, and I drank like a fucking 6-pack of beer, and I was like, this is the end for me. I want to die. I need to die now. And I didn't. I was just really fucking hungover and really fucking constipated because I took a lot of pills. A lot of pills. And I took a lot. They clogged up my system, you know. And I was already bulimic in 9th grade, which I'm not anymore, thank God, Jesus Christ, in the whole world. I'm only 84 pounds. 84 pounds! And I was bulimic. I was making myself purge. I was doing all this shit. And I didn't make myself throw up the pills. I just slept. And I was like, as soon as the morning comes, my mom's gonna find me. I wrote a suicide note and everything. I still have it, actually. Not gonna show you that because that's really triggering, for me and for you. So, yes, okay. Alright, so yeah, I was bulimic, for a very long time. I don't think there's like 1 or 2 people who know it, and they're not my parents. Yeah, I made myself throw up. I'd binge-y, and then I just everywhere. My gag reflex improved, and I don't do that anymore because 1, it's too much. 2, I'm fucking 84 pounds. 3, I'm too lazy to do it. Okay. So then by the end of the year, right? Okay. So Betsy went home early, and I thought it was because of me. I thought I was being annoying. She didn't talk to me the whole day. I was like, oh God, Jesus, what did I do? And I just had pills in my backpack because I always take pills in my backpack because, you know, just what if I need them? What if I need to kill myself, right? I don't anymore. Don't worry, Mom. Jesus Christ. And I took them, and I took a palm full. I thought that would be enough. I guess it wasn't. And then I took some more, like 3 or 4 more big pills. And then I was shaky, I was starting to get tremors, and I went to the bathroom and made myself puke. Because I wanted to die, but I didn't. Because it wasn't like the other times. It was like I wanted to die, but I didn't want to die to the point where, like, will you shut the fuck up? Sorry, that was my mom. She asked me what kind of grapes I wanted. It's pretty important, so I had to answer. But anyway, as I was saying, this time I wanted to die, but I didn't want to die that bad, I suppose. I mean, like, I regretted trying to kill myself. So I made myself puke, did all that. I went home early, told my mom that I was sick because I have acid reflux. I have chronic acid reflux, and it hurts and sometimes makes me puke in my mouth. And I said this time, well, it was just really bad. And I went home, and then I told my mom, yo, I tried to take a bunch of pills, and I didn't go to the hospital because she didn't want me to get taken away, be put in some mental facility. I just drank a shit ton of water, and all the pills that are in the house, she locked up in a box, and they're still locked up to this day. I'm not suicidal anymore, but safety precautions I can understand. But yeah, that's that. And that same day, I remember I texted Betsy, and I said, yo, I'm most likely going to the hospital. I love you. If I don't answer tomorrow, can you please do my streaks, blah, 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 Snapchat, yeah. She was like, why? I was like, I tried to take a bunch of pills, and then she posted a bunch of subs on her story, which didn't make the situation better. Okay, yeah, sorry, that was weird. Okay, didn't make the situation better in the slightest. In fact, Betsy, Josephine, and this other friend, which I hated with all my guts and still hate to this day. What do I call her? Mary. I mean, I don't hate her with all my guts, it's just that if you gave me a choice between, like, spending time with, like, a hobo and Mary, I would pick the hobo. Yeah, okay. So that made me want to die. And the rest of the school year was even worse because I would just slice my arms open. I have scars everywhere. They're everywhere. They're like everywhere. Yeah, okay. And now we're here. Now we are here. And I didn't realize this until the end of this summer that I liked girls. And previously, someone, I knew that Betsy and Mary asked someone to ask me if I was gay for Betsy, and I don't know what's wrong with gay people, but they didn't like that. I said no. I said no because I hated the idea of me being gay. I don't have anything against gay people. It's just, I didn't want to be. That made me cut more because I guess I was coming to terms with my sexuality. Great. It's turning in one of those videos. Oh. Okay. So yeah, my cousin told me, she said, because I did and still miss Betsy till this day, and it pains me to see her with people that I absolutely fucking despise. Okay? And I know once I post this, I'm gonna get a bunch of shit because, like, it's a small school and I don't have any fucking subscribers, and the only people who watch it are people at my school, so Betsy, if you're watching this and you know who you are, I'm sorry that I'm gay, and I'm sorry that you don't like gay people. I'm sorry, Mary, and I'm sorry, Josephine, for making this terrible sub. You probably don't know who you are because I use totally exotic names. Sorry, bye. Okay, anyway. So, my cousin said this to me. She says, usually when you act that way around someone, it means that you like them. Better look into that. And I said, no. Brush it off the shoulder, you know. And then, I listened to the song Strangers by Halsey. Please don't copyright me. And I was surprised that there was a song out there that had female prefixes in it, like she and her and female. I was like, whoa, this is different, but I was intrigued. I was like, what the fuck? This is so cool. Yeah. And then after a while, I thought about that, and eventually I came to the conclusion, wow, I'm bisexual. I like men, but I also like women. Wow. And I looked at pictures of Halsey, and I was like, I'm not gonna say I got turned on by it. I liked the way she looked. I liked the way she looked. My eyes were, I was appealed. And I was appealed by men too. Like Chester Bennington, for example, rest in peace. I liked him. Not as a crush, but if he asked me out to a date, I'd say fucking yes. Same thing goes for Halsey. But yeah, and then I sort of came out on Snapchat. I posted something that's suggestive with a gay song in the background. It says, let's get this thing straight, I'm not, and several people slid up, were like, oh my gosh, you're gay now? Like, bitch, just because I'm not straight doesn't mean that I'm gay. And, yeah, beforehand, during the summer, probably like the beginning of summer, I was very depressed, and I was like, I wanted to cut so bad, but I didn't, because I was like, I just stopped. I just got on new meds. I am not going to try to cut myself. I almost did, but I didn't. That's what happens when you're coming to terms with your sexuality. So I did that. Yeah. And then just a few weeks ago, actually, I came out to my parents. Very, very subtly. I'll put a picture up so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a note that I wrote, and I am very anxious. I'm a very anxious person. I don't like talking to people, especially my parents, about things that are dear to me, like my sexuality, and who I like. And I wrote a note saying basically, yo, Dad, Mom, my sister, I like girls, and you better deal with it, otherwise, well, you're stuck. And they found it, and I specifically said it in the fucking note, please don't tell me that you found this. Why? Because that would literally eat away at me because I knew that you knew. And I don't want, I'll know that you know because I'll check every single day until you find it to see if you took it. What does my mom do? Walks in my fucking room, goes, I found your note. Do you want me to give it to your dad? It says, yeah, and now Betsy doesn't talk to me, and Josephine never talked to me, neither did Mary, blah, 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 blah. Life's better now. I take medication. I'm happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm okay. I got family who support me. I have friends. Friend. I have a friend. My only friend group was Betsy, Josephine, and people she was associated with. Yeah. So I have a friend that support me. Yeah. So that is my story. Hopefully I have quite a few more chapters left in it. This video is 30 fucking minutes long, but I hope you liked it. If you did, so hit that red subscribe button, smack that like button, and also stay tuned for happier videos and more artistic ones, because this was just, I guess it's sort of a face reveal. Yeah, that and my life.